In June, we went to one of our go-to places when we're in Durango, Colorado. We headed up 550 and took Lime Creek Road. There's a meadow there, and we did arrive at night and were able to snag a spot. Usually, the meadow is pretty empty, and we've been there when there's only been one or two other cars. But as you can see, the views are spectacular, and it's a place where you want to take your time in the morning, have a nice breakfast, and just take in the beauty that is all around you. After a leisurely breakfast, we hit the road and continued on Highway 550 past Silverton and ended up right in the town of Ouray after we went over the $1 Million Highway. Our plan was to go to a boondocking spot I'm showing you here that we have been to before, that is right above Ouray, and at night you get just spectacular views of the city lights. But sadly, because of idiots, if you'll excuse me, who have trashed the place and defecated at their camp spot and not cleaned up, that site is no longer available. The town has closed it off. As you'll quickly discover, we absolutely love hot springs, whether they're natural or organized. This is the Ouray Hot Springs pool. It's run by the city, and we decided to stop there and have a soak before we went off to find another camping spot since our first choice was taken. The cost for soaking in these geothermal pools is $14 for seniors and $18 for adults. Quite the bargain and a really, really nice place. After a relaxing afternoon of soaking, we headed about 10 miles north of Ouray along Highway 550 to the town of Ridgway, a place we've been many, many times. We turned right onto County Road 8 and then took about a 16-mile drive on a dirt road to Owl Creek Pass. Once we got near the top of Owl Creek Pass, we took the West Fork turn, and off this road is a lot of dispersed camping spots. Most of them are accessible without four-wheel drive, but once you get past the meadow, you definitely will want to have four-wheel drive, and also for some of the offshoot dispersed camping areas. We were lucky enough to grab our favorite dispersed camping spot here, which is in this meadow. And there are other spots along this road, but this by far is our definite favorite. The weather was perfect when we arrived, but not long after we set up our camper, a storm rolled in.
Here we are in the rain. It's raining up here at Owl Creek Pass, and it's raining pretty good, but it shouldn't last long.
The storm rolled out almost as fast as it rolled in. We got a great night's sleep and woke up in the morning to a beautiful day. We had another leisurely breakfast with a view, but we're only staying one night because we had reservations at Orvis Hot Springs down in Ridgway. This is Orvis Hot Springs, which is in Ridgway, Colorado. We're showing you pictures of the pools from their website because they don't allow any electronics, including e-readers, anywhere on the property. You can have it in your campsite or your hotel room, but not anywhere on property. They have a number of areas that are grassy spots between the pools where you can sit and read or have a picnic and relax. So the grounds themselves are beautiful, lots of nice flowers and beautifully maintained. The camping, for every night of camping, you get 2 days of soaking, and including all night. The cost when we went was $49 per person per night, and that's including the camping and the soaking. But I noticed that as of January 22, the price has increased to $60 per person per night for camping. This is still a good deal, and we've been coming here for 10 years and we'll continue to come here. One thing you should know, and part of why they don't allow electronics, is this is a clothing optional hot spring, although I'd say it's probably about 50-50 folks that are there who actually wear suits or don't wear suits. Our favorite thing about camping here is that you get to soak all night, and a midnight stargazing soak is spectacular. They have a really dark sky, and we've seen lots of meteor showers and other phenomena there. Ridgway, which is nearby, has a lot of good restaurants and a river hiking trail that we always like to go and explore. We highly recommend Orvis Hot Springs. After soaking for a couple of days, we headed back to our home base in Los Alamos, New Mexico, where we've lived for the past 17 and a half years. I guess we should introduce ourselves. We're Greg and Karen of Sock Monkey Trekkers, and we've been adventuring together for over 44 years. We started out primarily tent camping and doing backpacking, and then in 2011, we built out a Nissan NV van, which we used from 2011 until 2019, when we purchased our Toyota Tacoma and four-wheel camper, which we affectionately call Taco Bell and her shell. We added a link in the description to 2 prior YouTube videos, one with a tour of our fleet model four-wheel camper and one of our Nissan NV 2500 home-built camper. Our reason for returning back to Los Alamos was to finish the downsizing of our condominium, which we were going to rent out for a year so that we could travel and visit with family and friends. We were celebrating 2 big milestones. I had retired from county government, and Greg had turned 62 and was able to receive his National Park Senior Lifetime Pass, which is something we'd been waiting for a long time. This moving van was jam full when we moved to Los Alamos in 2004, but after a whole lot of sorting, tossing, giving away, selling, we got down to our belongings fitting in our camper and in this very small storage unit. It was both one of the hardest things we've ever done and also one of the things that made us the happiest. So Greg, how do you feel about all the stuff we're getting rid of?
It's a relief to get rid of so much stuff. It's a burden. You collect all this stuff over 40 years and then you don't know where to put it all, and it's just nice to be free of it all. If I had advice for younger people today, is don't save stuff that you think you'll use later, because you're not going to use it later, because you're not going to even remember where it is. It's going to be piled under other stuff you bought, and standards change and stuff gets old and you won't want it anyway. So just don't buy all that stuff and don't save it, and use your stuff for experiences instead.
How many computers do you think you drilled holes through?
Must have been 25 computers
that
and
we had
phones.
saved over the years,
Yeah.
just in case.
Yeah.
Los Alamos will remain our home base, and we plan on making cloverleaf trips so that we can come back and spend time with Greg's mom, who's in her 80s and lives here in Los Alamos. She also goes out on adventures with us when we pull her pop-up A-liner titanium with Taco Bell. As soon as the storage unit was loaded and our condo was cleaned, we headed right back out up to Owl Creek Pass. There was a hike we really wanted to get in that we didn't do the first time. We weren't able to get the meadow campsite, but we found a really good spot right next to the creek and next to a field of wildflowers that worked perfectly. The first day we were there, we just relaxed, took in the scenery, and went on some short hikes. The main road in this area is not heavily traveled, and so it's great for an evening walk or an early morning walk to check out the views, which are beautiful in every direction. There are two ways to get to the Wetterhorn trailhead. The first is with a four-wheel drive vehicle. The second is walking, and we saw quite a few people who walked from their campsite to the trailhead. Whether you hike or drive to the trailhead, there is a small river crossing that you will need to do. There's a good-sized parking area just at the trailhead, as several trails branch off from this starting point. We took the trail to the Wetterhorn Basin, which is 4.3 miles each way. Next time, we definitely wanted to go the full 6 miles to Wetterhorn Pass, which makes for a 12-mile hike for the day, but is well worth it. The views looked amazing.
Hey, if you liked this video and you'd like to see some more, please give it a thumbs up, and also please subscribe. We need to get to 1,000 subscribers so that we can get some of that sweet, sweet YouTube money.
Thank you.